This is our video for Unit 4, Day 4. So it's going to be a short set of notes today. We're talking about something called dimensional analysis. And all that really means is we're changing units. So you see dimensional analysis, big fancy term, but all that means is we're doing unit conversions. We're changing from one unit to another. So it might be feet to meters, feet to inches, whatever it is. That's all we're doing is changing units. So we work through dimensional analysis. The way this works is actually the same kind of process we used when we were multiplying fractions. That's called cross cancellation. This time instead of cross canceling factors, we're actually cross canceling units to change our units. So just like we had factors in the top of one fraction, it cancels that out with factors in the bottom of another fraction. Here we do the same thing with units. So we have units in the numerator of one fraction. We can cancel those out if they're in the denominator of the other fraction. And what we're left with is we should have crossed out every unit we don't want and be left with only the units we do want at the end. So we have to set up the problem in a way where we can cancel units out. So putting one in the top and one in the bottom. So working with the numbers is going to be the same as we did before when we're multiplying fractions. Right, so the units will cross cancel, and numbers we multiply straight across just like we do when we're multiplying fractions. So here's going to be the example. We're going to change 2 miles, that'd be our unit miles, into inches. Alright, so we don't have a conversion going straight from miles to inches, but we know 1 mile, we should know, is 5,280 feet, and 1 foot is 12 inches. So what we do is start with what we have. What we have is 2 miles. We're working with fractions. 2 isn't a fraction, 2 is a whole number. We can make it a fraction if we put it over 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and line up a conversion. Alright, it's called a conversion factor. So we can change this out of miles. To do that, miles will have to be on the bottom, so it'll cross cancel. It's on the top of one fraction, bottom of the other fraction will cancel out. So we look for a conversion that has miles in it. This is the only one. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So now miles cancel, we'd be in feet. But we don't want feet, what we want is inches. So now we're going to have to do another conversion factor, and we're going to have to cancel out feet. So we line up feet on the bottom, that will cancel out, and we look for another conversion factor that involves feet. And that's our second one. 1 foot is 12 inches. Now if we look, every other unit has been canceled out except inches, which tells me the final answer is going to be in inches. And everything else here is going to be the same process as multiplying fractions. It's going to be 2 times 5,280 times 12. And multiply all those out, you get 126,720 inches. The second one here is going to be a little bit harder. So the second one, we have 2 units at the same time. We're changing 200 feet per second into miles per hour. So we have a lot of different things we have to change. So here are conversions again. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. We know an hour is 60 minutes, and a minute is 60 seconds. So first thing, we're going to start with what we have. Alright, that's 200 feet per second, which means 200 feet over 1 second. So the first thing I'm going to try and do is take feet into miles. So I know if I want to cancel that out, I have to line it up so that feet is in the bottom. So now I know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So now I'm set up to where I have miles per second right now. So the next thing I have to do is go from seconds to hours. So we don't have one stage where we can do that. So we have to first get seconds into minutes. So I know if I want seconds to cancel out, it's got to be on the top. I know 60 seconds is 1 minute. So same thing, it will cancel seconds in the top, seconds in the bottom. Then I have one more step of this, and that's to multiply. So it's in minutes right now. Take minutes into hours. So if minutes in the bottom, I need minutes in the top. So 60 minutes in 1 hour. So the minutes will cancel. What I'm left with is miles per hour. Alright, and then for my arithmetic, I'd be multiplying 200 times 60 times 60 and dividing that by 5,280. Alright, we do all the arithmetic, and what we get is going to be a decimal, so we're getting about 136. So we have 136 miles per hour to be the same as 200 feet per second. So that's kind of the hardest example to see where you have two units at the same time. So if you look on the back, there's some practice problems for you to do on your own. It gives you a whole list of conversions at the top, and then there's 4 problems for you to work through, and 1 challenge problem if you get through those before that. So you're changing whatever the units are here in each problem into whatever the unit says here. So if you need any help with this, you can also look for videos online that say either changing units or dimensional analysis. That's it for these notes. So do some practice, try some of these on your own.